That's why it messed up. Face in, face out. So in this video, we are going to break down exactly what content clusters are and how they've helped me grow from 1,000 followers on Instagram to 35,000 in 6 months. Now there's a massive disclaimer because it wasn't all down to content clusters, but what they did allow me to do was create headspace. It stopped me from getting overwhelmed with content creation. It also stopped me from always having to come up with ideas on the spot. So let's jump into the video. So what are content clusters? Well, content clusters is really easy. They are just groups of keywords or topics that you can talk about. A lot of people get frustrated about coming up with ideas. How do I get questions all the time. How do you come up with your ideas? How do you come up with ideas? It all stems from coming up with content clusters. So for example, if you was to scroll through my Instagram feed right now, go to dannyallenpage.com. No, that's the wrong thing. Go to @DannyAllenPage on Instagram, scroll through my feed, you're gonna see 4 key topics or clusters that I talk about all day long. Sales, personal development / branding, marketing, and Instagram growth. I nearly forgot the last one. I had to take about 4 takes on that. I don't run out of content ideas about this, okay? It's just something that I've lived and breathed for the last 15 years, and I can regurgitate content on the spot about these areas. Regurgitate, is that the right word? I can create content ideas with these, but I want you to come up with your own. So how do you actually come up with your own clusters? First things first, you need to know who your audience are, and there's a shameless plug. Go to our website, there is a downloadable spreadsheet where you can come up with your buyer personas or your customer, and you can create customer content clusters, right? So go and download that. Links in the description. You need to know who your customers are. And instead of get overwhelmed of going in a deep dive, spending days of understanding your customers, let's just make it really easy. I want you to spend half an hour breaking down their challenges and frustrations and their goals. I learned in sales many years ago that the best way to get someone to act is either the fear of loss or the pleasure of gain. So are we pulling someone away from their frustrations and their challenges, or are we pushing someone towards their goals and what they want to achieve? That is where you want to do. So spend 30 minutes, that's a bit long. I think you can do it in 15. Do 15 minutes breaking down a list of all of these challenges and all of these goals. So once you know that, you've got to be real with yourself, okay? You've got to look at yourself and go, right, what am I good at? What do I enjoy talking about? And what do I have experience and knowledge in? That is your sweet spot, you as an individual. That's where you need to stay. Stay in your lane. I see it over and over again, and I think people start talking outside of what they know, and then they just kind of like copy other people's content, and it gets a little bit crazy. All you should focus on is who you are, how you help, and your customers' goals and challenges. That's it. In between there are gonna be some broad topics that you know you're gonna cover. And I'm drawing circles here. So on the circle on the left is your customer, goals, challenges. And the circle on the right is you, knowledge, skills, passion. There's an overlap. Content clusters. I'm gonna throw up a diagram somewhere. I hope that's usable. Otherwise I just look like a donut, but that's fine. So let me give you an example of a cluster of mine. A cluster of mine is sales, okay? I used to work in sales for 7 years, high ticket selling, investments, long story. A subcategory of sales would be objections. Now I know as an ex-sales professional that objection handling is one of you get told no a lot. Hearing it over and over, you need to come up with some good objection handling. So then I created a piece of content on my Instagram called How to Deal With Not Interested. And on that piece of content, it was some scripts of how to deal with and objection handle It done really well. I put some scripts in there that people could save. So I'm trying to create content that is gonna solve one problem under that massive cluster and making it as savable as possible, because I put scripts in there that give people the tools to overcome that objection. So a question that I get asked loads is like, how many clusters should you have and how do you structure it all? So answering the first question, you should have roughly 3 to 5 clusters. Any more, it gets a little bit messy. Any less, you might run through your content too quickly. So I find 3 to 5 is a sweet spot. I have 4, like I mentioned. And when it comes to capturing ideas, I always tell people motivation or inspiration never comes to you when you need it. For me, it's typically when I'm running. When I'm exercising in the morning, I'm running and I'll get amazing content ideas and I'll have to leave a voice note or record something to capture it. And later on, what I do is I will put that into the spreadsheet. Again, shameless plug, go and download it. And I just sandbank. I just put all of my ideas throughout the day and week into an idea column under the clusters. So it's all about capturing ideas when they happen, not sitting at your laptop trying to come up with ideas. Because throughout the day, you will have 3 to 10 to God knows how many ideas. It's all about you storing them. So when it comes to the creation side, you can sit down and just start to create. You're already in motion. You understand what that idea is. So if you actually look at it, let's say you've got 4 clusters now on this spreadsheet. How easy is it to come up with 5 ideas for each one? Let's actually do it. Like stop, pause this. Go and do this. Download my spreadsheet, get a piece of paper. I don't care what you do. Break down 5 clusters and write down 5 ideas under each one. Time yourself 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes. Let's go. Why am I singing Little Mermaid? Like literally in 10 minutes time, you've mapped out a month's worth of content. If you don't post at the weekend. 20 pieces of content that you've now got at your disposal for you then to get ahead so that you're not overwhelmed, you're not creating on the spot. And then what we do is that we'll just escalate the easiest ideas. So if you're trying to get off the ground, escalate or promote 3 or 4 ideas that you know you can turn around really quickly, you're passionate about creating, schedule them out over the week, and batch design, create that content. Do it in 3s to 5s. That way, you just create time, headspace, stress is gone, and you're not overwhelmed. You're not creating on the spot. You're ahead, you're in front. Once I got into that rhythm, once we got into that mojo, creating content just becomes super, super fun. Unless you're doing YouTube, which when you're out of focus, you have to recall. Oh, anyway, it still hurts. In reality, you've spent 30 minutes, you've come up with your customers' goals, challenges, you understand what your skills and your knowledge are and the things you're passionate about, and you've just come up with 4 content clusters and 20 ideas. You're like a superhero to your future self. Pat yourself on the back, take a deep breath, have a break, and let's go create some content. I'm out of it, man. I think that was epic. I think personally that was epic, but who am I? If you think it was epic, hit subscribe. I think there's a bell. I'm new to this. Hit the bell, like, fun, peace. This is the second time I had to record this, so I'm out. Does it look all right? I'm in focus. I'm in focus. It's fine. Why am I panicking? That'll do. Got a little clicker turn on my camera. Getting fancy out here, people.